No.
minutes.
You asked me a question.
I did, and
you asked me a question,
and you
I'm
haven't
gonna
answered
answer
my
it.
question.
So they're going to be out on the streets working
You haven't
hand in
answered
hand
my
with
question.
DEA
You
to
haven't
violate.
answered, Mr. Chairman. I'd like an answer to my question.
As I was attempting to answer your question very calmly, unlike you,
Excuse me, Madam Attorney General. Answer yes or no. Tell me what the numbers are. I don't want to hear all of your filibuster about this. Go ahead, please. Tell us the numbers.
So we are reorganizing. ATF agents want to be out on the street.
Okay,
Working
let me
with
answer the
DEA
question for you.
agents.
I'm going to answer it for you. Page, Mr. Chairman, you give me a certain amount of time, and I have a high respect for you, but I don't have to listen, nor do my colleagues have to listen to a filibuster when it's a simple question. But I have an answer to your question.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow patriots, welcome back to Right View Nation, the voice of unapologetic American conservatism, where we don't dance around the truth. We march through it with our heads high and our flags higher. What we just witnessed in this congressional hearing wasn't just another back and forth over budgets. No, it was a clear-cut example of the radical left trying to dismantle law and order. And thank God for strong conservative voices like Pam Bondi, who wasn't afraid to stand up, speak out, and call out the nonsense for exactly what it is.
Laura?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick note before I get to my questions. Fentanyl seizures are down 30% compared to last year, and that data is coming from the Customs and Border Patrol, CBP. I don't make it up, but fentanyl seizures are down. At your confirmation hearing, you asserted that you will do everything in your power to prevent illegal gun runners in our country. Your budget request for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF, proposes a cut of 26% below the current level. How can you justify such a massive cut without inevitably weakening ATF's ability to help our state and local law enforcement fight illegal gun trafficking? How many ATF law enforcement officers and industry operations investigators do you anticipate will be lost to attrition as a result of this funding reduction you are proposing?
So I am a career prosecutor, and I believe in keeping America safe, making America safe. First, what we're doing is ATF is going to be brought over with DEA. Everyone knows, everyone sitting up here, guns and drugs go together. They go together. We're going to make it more efficient. What I will tell you will not be happening is ATF agents will not be knocking on the doors of legal gun owners in the middle of the night asking them about their guns. They're going to be out on the streets. If I can finish, they're going to be out on the streets.
I have three
No.
minutes.
You asked me a question.
I did, and
you asked me a question,
and you haven't
I'm gonna
answered my
answer it.
question.
So they're going to be out on the streets working
You haven't
hand in hand
answered my
with
question.
DEA
You
to
haven't
violate.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like an answer to my question. And the question is not being answered. How many ATF law enforcement officers and industry operations investigators do you anticipate will be lost to attrition as a result of the funding reduction you are proposing? You are proposing a 26% cut to ATF for fiscal year 2026, as well as a 4.4% cut to DEA. So you're going to merge the two agencies together, and then you're going to shortchange their resources, so neither one of them will be able to do the job that they have been designed to do. You've got a 34% cut to the high-intensity drug trafficking areas program, no dedicated money at all for the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force. So, my view, it's fair to say that the Trump administration proposal shortchanges federal efforts to stop illegal gun trafficking and federal efforts to stop the flow of dangerous illegal drugs like fentanyl.
As I was attempting to answer your question very calmly, unlike you,
Excuse me, Madam Attorney General. Answer yes or no. Tell me what the numbers are. I don't want to hear all of your filibuster about this. Go ahead, please. Tell us the numbers.
So we are reorganizing. ATF agents want to be out on the street.
Okay,
Working
let me
with
answer the
DEA
question for you.
agents.
I'm going to answer it for you. Page, Mr. Chairman, you give me a certain amount of time, and I have a high respect for you, but I don't have to listen, nor do my colleagues have to listen to a filibuster when it's a simple question. But I have an answer to your question. It's page 146 of the department's fiscal year 2026 budget, and the performance summary explicitly says, and let me quote, ATF will eliminate 541 industry operation investigators, reducing ATF's capacity to regulate the firearms and explosive industries by approximately 40% in fiscal year 2026. ATF will perform fewer regulatory inspections. And the department summary goes on to say, and let me quote, ATF anticipates a reduction of approximately 284 support personnel and 186 agents based on historical attrition patterns, and these personnel cuts will impact ATF across various functions, unquote. If the capacity to regulate firearms industry is reduced by 40%, if you are losing 186 ATF law enforcement agents on top of that, it is clear the direction you are headed with this budget, and that's what it is, isn't it? The proposal will weaken our ability to stop gun trafficking, and it will greatly reduce ATF support for state and local law enforcement that helps them prevent and solve violent crimes. It's a bad proposal.
Do you want to hear my answer in 3 seconds? You mentioned regulatory functions. We will not be having ATF agents go to the doors of gun owners in the middle of the night asking them about their guns, period. They will be out on the streets with DEA, guns and drugs.
How many
go
are
together.
gone?
It will be attrition. We are not firing agents. They will be working.
How many
with
have
DEA.
taken attrition?
Can I tell you that they all want to be on the streets? They want to be doing their jobs. They want to be
But you're getting them
seizing
off
guns.
the streets.
They want
You're getting
to.
them
We're
off the
putting
streets.
them on the
And-
streets.
and-
They want to be working with
you,
DEA.
you are getting them off
We
the
will be
streets. There is no
efficient.
clear, and Mr.
We will
Chairman,
be
I yield back my
efficient.
time. I yield back my time. Let's get some answers here.
Let's dive into this fiery exchange that exposed what the Biden administration is really trying to do: cripple our federal law enforcement while pretending it's reform. Spoiler alert, it's not reform. It's a reckless, ideological agenda aimed at gutting America's backbone. You know what the Democrats are trying to sell us this time? They want us to believe that merging the ATF with the DEA, while slashing both their budgets, will somehow make us safer. Oh really? Since when does cutting a combined 30% of operational strength make us safer? And while the Biden camp boasts about fentanyl seizures being down, let me ask you something. Are overdose deaths down? Are our streets safer? Are our borders secure? Absolutely not. This is gaslighting on a national scale. The left wants us to accept surface-level numbers while they turn a blind eye to what's really happening. Our cities being ravaged by drugs, our citizens defenseless, and our law enforcement outnumbered, underfunded, and disrespected. Now let's talk about the hero of this hearing, Pam Bondi. This woman didn't flinch. While the AG stuttered, deflected, and danced around a simple question, Bondi cut through the noise like a hot knife through butter. She asked directly and firmly, how many ATF officers will be lost because of this budget? And what did she get in return? A filibuster of woke word salad and bureaucratic gibberish. No straight answers, just excuses. But Bondi didn't let it slide. She did what every strong patriot should do. She brought the receipts. Page 146 of the FY 2026 budget report, right there in black and white. 541 industry investigators eliminated. A 40% reduction in firearm regulation enforcement. 284 support personnel cut. 186 agents lost to attrition. Now you tell me, is that what law and order looks like? Or is that systematic disarmament of our national defense from the inside out? Here's the other part they don't want you to hear. This isn't just about budget cuts. This is about redirecting focus away from criminals and toward law-abiding gun owners. The AG tried to assure us, we won't be knocking on gun owners' doors in the middle of the night. Oh really? So why the sudden obsession with industry operations investigators? Why gut enforcement against actual traffickers while expanding tracking on lawful dealers? Because they don't trust us. They don't believe in the Second Amendment. They don't believe we the people should have the power to defend ourselves. And they know the only way to weaken the American spirit is to disarm the people and demoralize the police. Pam Bondi sees right through it. And so do we. This is where we ask the real question. Where is the rest of the GOP? Pam Bondi can't do this alone. We need fighters. We need patriots in Washington who aren't afraid of being called extreme, just for defending common-sense law enforcement and constitutional rights. We're sick and tired of spineless politicians who back down at the first sign of liberal media pressure. This is a time for lions, not lambs. It's time to stop reaching across the aisle and start fortifying the foundations of this nation before the left burns it to the ground with red tape and woke policies. Let me be clear. This budget isn't just a proposal, it's a blueprint for disaster. A 40% reduction in ATF's regulatory ability, a defunded DEA, no money for drug crime task forces. This isn't how you keep Americans safe. This is how you protect cartels and empower gangs, while punishing American patriots for wanting to defend their homes. We at Right View Nation stand firmly with Pam Bondi, and we will keep sounding the alarm until every American realizes what's at stake. If you're with us, it's time to speak up. Share this video. Call your congressman. Demand they stand with law enforcement, not defund it. Demand they protect legal gun owners, not criminalize them. And to Pam Bondi, thank you. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for not backing down. You've got the support of every red-blooded American who still believes in truth, justice, and the Constitution. This has been Right View Nation, where we never apologize for loving our country, defending our Constitution, and calling out the radicals trying to destroy both. Like, share, subscribe, and remember, patriots, we don't back down, we double down. God bless America.